I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why many people fail to connect with their spirit guides. The spirit guides try to connect with them, send them a lot of messages and signs and guidance, because that's what they do. But then people fail to listen, people fail to recognize, people fail to follow the guidance. And there are common reasons why, again, no judgment, we all go through this, and some of the things are really unconscious and might not be aware of. So yeah, regarding the spirit guides, there's this, like, I would say it's a myth, like this misconception that only special people have access to their spirit guides. That you have to have some kind of psychic ability to be able to listen or to see or to feel the guidance of the spirit guides. But that is just a myth. Everyone has access to a team of spirit guides who communicate with us all the time. Everyone has that ability. It's not something that is only available for a few special, of us, or that is exclusive to just the special ones, whatever, special means to you. Because, spirit guides are beings of light from the higher realm. They are connected to us in unconditional love, and all they want to do is to help us, in our spiritual path, is to help us in our day-to-day life, is to help us to feel supported and loved, and supported also in fulfilling our lessons in this life, our karmic lessons, and following what our soul chose to follow in this lifetime. All with the most loving and supporting energy that you can ever feel from anyone. And spirit guides are not only loved ones who passed on. You might feel it, especially shortly after you lost someone very dear. You might feel them around trying to guide you. But they are not only loved ones that passed on. Spirit guides can be angels, they can be nature spirits, they can be ascended masters, they can be deities, which is goddesses and gods. They can be animal guides, they can be ancestors, and even star beings. Any of these types of guides, that I just mentioned, angels, nature spirits, star beings, ancestors, deities, they are all loving, they are all non-judgmental, and they are high vibrational, because they are all messengers of the divine. And spirit guides often assist us with practical advice and guidance when it comes to healing, when it comes to family karma, open wounds, uncovering inherent talents, and finding our own spiritual roots that we have from past lives. But as humans, we don't remember. So they work with us in this remembering of our roots, remembering our soul memories, and giving us like that practical guidance, that practical love and advice to help us move through the ups and downs and the challenges and the healing that it's necessary for us to open our heart more and more to this spiritual realm. And all these spirit guides, they were once, they once were human or walked on earth. They are just not like imaginary or, like fairies and unicorns. And there are people that, believe in fairies and the fairy magic and all of that thing that exists as well. But they are not imaginary. They walked on earth once. They were human once. But the reason why they are spirit guides now is because they reached enlightenment and left the reincarnation cycle. They were old souls who fulfilled their karma. They learned their lessons and they healed as well on a karmic level. And so they are now possessing a great wisdom, and they dedicate their time to support other humans, to develop our spiritual gifts and develop compassion to other human beings. Yeah. And one day you will be you. One day you will be an old soul, and you will have learned all your lessons, your karmic lessons, and you have healed. And one day, who knows, you will be here supporting other people, other humans, to achieve that enlightenment. Isn't that powerful? Isn't that why we do our healing journey here on earth? So we can, speed up that karmic healing that our soul needs. In order to find what type of spirit guides you have, is that simple as listening to your intuition and trusting what it tells you. Ask yourself, which type of guide do you feel more drawn to? Is it an angel? Is it a loved one that passed away? Is it a specific kind of animal? So yeah, it might be that you can ask yourself these kinds of questions, and what comes through to you straight away, listen to it because it's your intuition talking. But you can also pay attention to any repeated signs, any repeated words, any repeated visuals, and also pay particular attention to your dreams, because your dreams have so many hidden messages there. We don't explore our dreams enough, to be honest. They have so many things in so many secrets, so many hidden messages, warnings, even premonitions. Our dreams are really, really powerful. And then, as I touched already, depending on what you're going through in your life at that moment, you might find that you get support from a specific type of spirit guides that embodies the qualities that you need at that moment. But as you move through your challenges and you learn your lessons and you heal your wounds, then they go away and they give space for other spirit guides to come forward and support you on the next step of your journey. But, this support is truly, truly beautiful, truly magical. And, I think you will never feel that kind of love anywhere. We have partners, we have our children, we have our parents and friends and stuff, but we are all humans, and there's always that element of judgment and criticism and, jealousy. There's always that human element, which is completely natural and normal. But that's what distinguishes the spirit guides. They don't have that. They enlightened beings. They don't have these particularities of the human being. And that's why we feel that overwhelming love and safety and protection that we never experienced before. and is truly, truly magical. There are, however, some reasons why people struggle to connect with their spirit guides and trust their guidance. That's often linked with doubting and questioning if what they see and what they feel is actually a message from the higher realm or is just imagination. And I will touch on the 5 most common reasons why people struggle to connect with their spirit guides. And maybe you can relate to any of it. Reason number 1 why people might struggle to connect with their spirit guides is that, as I touched before, you might think that you need to be special, that in order to have or connect with your spirit guides, you have to be like a psychic or a priest or a shaman or a witch or a medium or a healer. And it's a myth that cannot be further from the truth. Millions of normal people connect and communicate with their spirit guides, but the reason we don't hear about it is because they don't share it. It's very common, but they don't share these with their closed ones, with their friends, with other people. They are not open to share those things, and we don't find it very common. You know, we have to remember there are a lot of people that still on their spiritual closets, that they don't open about these things. There are a lot of people that they are the science people, you know, people with careers that you would say are very analytical, that needs facts, analyze proofs and stuff like that. And they still have this ability, which we all have, but this awareness and this connection with a higher realm. But they hide in that spiritual closet because they feel it goes against with what everyone thinks about them or expect of them. So that's why we don't hear it. It's not common. You don't need to have special abilities to communicate with your spirit guides. All you need is an open mind. An open mind and an open heart is all you need. Okay? Reason number 2 is down to the modern society, the social conditioning, the cultural programming that taught us that only what is perceived with our 5 physical senses is what is real. Only what you can see, what you can touch, what you can smell, what you can hear, what you can taste, only that counts. Nothing else. But the thing is, spiritual experiences often don't fall into this category. It's a 6th sense, but it is a sense, and we all have it. And spiritual experiences communicate through that 6th sense, right? It's a communication that comes from an inner knowing, from a feeling, from noticing the synchronicities around us, and the signs and the things that our rational mind don't make any sense of, that cannot explain, that cannot reason with. And for that reason, our rational mind perceives anything that cannot be witnessed as true, as in felt with our physical senses, as something that is to be suspicious about, something that is born out of our imagination, that is not real. And so people shut it off. They don't trust it because, oh, if I didn't hear it or smelt it or touched it or saw it with my own eyes, I'm not gonna trust it. It's a product of my imagination. It's simply not real. Because we were conditioned that way. We were programmed to think that way. And when we try to make sense of these spiritual experiences and this communication from our spiritual guides from a place of being rational, we are actually blocking the connection with our intuition and with the higher realm, because they don't speak in with the rational mind. It is with the subconscious. It is through this sixth sense. Reason number 3 why people might struggle to communicate with their spiritual guides is our own expectations, and how having these expectations enable us to sabotage ourselves on a deep level. Like, we make assumptions that communicating with our spiritual guides feels like a certain way or works in a certain way. We have this assumption, or most people have this assumption, that communicating with our spiritual guides works the same way as talking to another person. And that is the only way of communication possible. But that is a false assumption, because the spiritual guides use their own language, their own way of communication, and usually is an inner knowing, is through visions, is through messages, is through dreams and signs and symbols and synchronicities and intuitive feelings. That's their language. That's how they speak to us. It's not in words. It's not as I'm talking to you. You're not going to hear this kind of conversation if that's what you're expecting. We need to adjust our expectations and learn their language instead of getting stuck in assuming that it has to happen a certain way, and that is the only way possible. Ditch the assumptions, ditch the expectations. Again, open mind, open heart, learn their language. If you notice signs coming through, or the same visuals, or the same dreams, if you notice it coming through, for me it's like 3. If it comes 3 times, if I see it 3 times, if I notice it 3 times, I get their attention, and then I'll go and I look it up. I don't know everything. I don't know the meaning of everything. So I go and I look it up. And normally that's exactly what I need to hear or to know at that moment. It's how they are trying to get my attention. So try that. Ditch the expectations. Okay? The 4th reason why we struggle to connect with our spirit guides is that we are never taught how to. Who had conversations with their teachers and their parents and their siblings and their cousins about spirit guides and angels and gods and goddess? Okay, I was brought up Catholic, and I went to Sunday school for a long time, and I went to church for a long time, and I still consider myself Catholic. However, apart from what is written in the Bible and what we were taught in Sunday school, we were never taught, apart from praying to God, or to angels, we were never taught how to connect with spirit guides. I never heard that word whilst I was growing up. So who here grew up learning how to? You probably didn't. We're never taught the skills to communicate with them. And so, as adults now, and as aware as we are and open to it, we now need to practice and learn the basics. We need to invest time to create space for this connection. We have to invest our effort and dedication to succeed in those skills as any other skills that we've learned growing up. We can start by doing regular meditation. We can work on developing our clairs, as in clairvoyance, clairsentient, and work on our inner senses as well. You need to use these things to communicate with the spirit world. So the more you dedicate time, effort, and dedication to learn these things, to create space and inner calm and silence, and work on this connection, the more strongly you will feel that the communication becomes. And it's also very important to learn the basics, as in every time we try to communicate with the spirit world, we need to learn how to work on raising our vibration, protecting our psychic, protecting our energy. So all of these things, we're not taught how to do it. So it's really important that we learn how to do it. And there are lots of things online that we can learn from. There are books on it, there are courses on it. So just see where you're at and then start exploring this. That's really important. And the fifth reason why some people struggle to connect with their spirit guides is because of self-doubt. And this is just the most common reason. We doubt our own experiences. We learn to perceive the spirit guides as imaginary or not real, as I mentioned in another reason. And so we doubt that they're existent, and therefore we doubt ourselves. If we feel it, if we have that inner knowing, if we have that dream, or we see that sign, we often doubt, like, just imagining things. Oh, I'm reading too much into this. Even I get that. That's why I put this rule. We shouldn't have any rules, but it's not there. Shouldn't. There are no shoulds in this. But I put that rule on myself. If I see it, hear it, dream it, whatever, 3 times, you get my attention. Like, I'm all in. I know I'm meant to pay attention to this. So you can probably do the same. So it starts to dissolve a little bit, that self-doubt, because it becomes louder and louder. So yeah, it's just go with your gut. You will feel it. You will feel it if you're meant to pay attention to it. But yeah, that's a common reason. We doubt ourselves. We doubt the things that we are seeing. And then we don't talk about it because we're like, people will think I'm crazy, so I'm not going to share it. And yeah, just don't do it. Just, go with your gut and what feels right. Because the more you communicate with your spirit guides, the more you will trust that you can do it, that you have what it takes, and the more confident you become that you're not making things up, that things are very real and is not a product of your imagination. And as a, a loving advice, just find like-minded people who share the same experiences, the same interests, the same curiosity. So you can exchange ideas, you can exchange message and magic and ask questions and don't feel silly or judged. Find like-minded people. If you don't feel like you can share it with your real life friends, or with close friends and family, especially because you are still in the spiritual closet, start by finding a tribe, a circle where there is no that kind of judgment, because everyone is in the same journey. Everyone has the same interests and passions. And you will feel then safe to ask questions and to share your experiences and, yeah, talk about it freely. And if you are interested in knowing in which ways your spirit guides might be communicating with you, I have a free guide available that you can download. So yeah, if you would like to know 10 ways that your spirit guides might be communicating with you, that's free. You can get it as you want. So I hope this training today was helpful, that he gave you some reassurance that you can do this, you have what it takes, you don't need to be special or have special psychic abilities to connect with your spirit guides. You have everything inside of you already, and your spirit guides are always here to support you, always here to connect with you, and they are communicating with you right now. You just need to listen.